My name is Brock Page, and life is good. And I also don't know anything about sports handicapping. I hope you're all having a great day on this Monday afternoon. I went 2-1 on my picks for Sunday's Major League Baseball action. That's going to keep my total win percentage at a cool 603. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and throw some proverbial darts in my underwear with some severely misguided sports picks in my two-bedroom apartment. First game, National League. I'm talking about the St. Louis Cardinals laying $1.40 at the Philadelphia Phillies with a total at an even 9 runs. And at the moment, the Fightin' Phils are getting a run and a half on the Runline. Tuesday night's probables, Leak for the Cards, Hellickson for the Phils. The Phillies are currently winless in head-to-head matchups with the Cards. They're also a putrid 1-11 in their last 12. But if you think the Phils have zero chance, they're actually a solid 9-5 when Hellickson makes the start. The Fightins are facing a Cardinals team who's lost 2 of their last 3 and win just 40% on the road. They're also winning a pathetic 23% of their games after a day off. The bad news pretty much ends there, though, for St. Louis bettors. This Cardinals team is winning an impressive 70% of their games versus teams under 500. Now, with the aforementioned in mind, the case can be made for either side. Before I select a winner, let's go ahead and break down the total, which is once again posted at an even 9 runs. The Phils are 2-1 for the overs in their last 3. Meanwhile, on the other side, Cards games are 4-0 for the overs in their last 4. Both teams' previous 4 games have also averaged 10 runs per game collectively. With all that in mind, the case for the over can certainly be made. I like to put my money on a winner, however, so the time for talk is over. It's time for me to throw my first dart in my underwear with a severely misguided Moneyline pick in my 2-bedroom apartment. When it comes to picking a winner in this one, you got to remember how bad these Phillies are. They're winning 31% as the underdog and just 42% versus other teams below 500. It's for these reasons that I think the St. Louis Cardinals minus 140 will get the job done for some Moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 6-4 Cards. With my first dart throw in the books, it's time to move on to my second game. I'm talking about the San Francisco Giants plus 1.5 at the Atlanta Braves with the total at an even 9 runs. And at the moment, the Braves are currently the Moneyline favorites at $1.22. Probables in this one, more for the Giants to Heron for the Braves. Speaking of Atlanta, they've been real good as of late, winning 3 of their last 4. They're also a decent 7-5 in games as the favorite. But if you think the Braves are a lock against these hapless Giants, you may want to listen up because this Atlanta team is just 1-2 in head-to-head matchups with San Francisco. The Braves are also winning just 42% in the 3rd game without a day off. With all that in mind, this game could go either way, so it should be a tough one to pick. But before I select a winner, let's go ahead and take a look at some total run breakdown real quick. 4 out of Atlanta's last 6 games have gone over the line. Meanwhile, on the other side, Giants games are 6-1 for the overs in their last 7. With those 2 figures in mind, it's fairly apparent that the case for the over can and should be made. Having said that, I'm ready to project an outright winner, so the time for talk about this matchup is over. It's time for me to throw my second dart in my underwear with another severely misguided sports pick in my 2-bedroom apartment. When it comes to selecting a winner in this one, keep in mind this putrid Giants team is 1 for 8 in their last 9. And they win a feeble 21% when Matt Moore makes the start. It's for these very reasons that I think the Atlanta Falcons, no, I'm kidding, the Atlanta Braves get the job done for some Moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 7-5 Braves. All right, with my second pick in the books, I'm going to slide into my third and final dart for the program. I'm talking about Houston minus 111 at the Oakland A's, with the total moving slightly downward to an even 9 runs. And at the moment, Oakland's getting 1.5 on the run line. Tomorrow night's probables, Martez for the Astros, Sonny Gray for Oakland. Speaking of the Athletics, they've been red hot coming off a 4-game sweep of the Yankees this past weekend. They're also winning a solid 63% of their games at home. But if you think the A's are a lock to take this one at home, think again, my friend, as this Oakland team has won just 1 of 5 head-to-head matchups with the Astros. Oakland's also facing an Astros team who's winning a staggering 83% as the official road favorite. With the preceding information in mind, the case can certainly be made for either side, But before I select my official winner, let's go ahead and break down the total real quick. 2 out of both teams' last 4 games have gone over the posted total. Both teams' games are also collectively averaging 10 runs per game in their last 4 contests collectively. With all that in mind, the case for the over can once again be made. And with that said, the time for talk is over. It's time for me to throw my third and final dart with another severely misguided baseball pick in my 1-bedroom apartment. Although Oakland's been red hot as of late, they're still 7 games under 500 and win just 40% of their matchups as the official underdog. They're also facing an Astros team who's a dominant 19-9 versus teams under 500. It's for these very reasons that I think the Houston Astros minus 111 will get the job done for some Moneyline cash. I'm predicting a final score of 6-4 Houston. All right, folks, that is going to do it for me. But before I get out of here, allow me to remind you that I am not a sports betting expert, nor do I implore you to take any of my picks. A wise man once said, good ain't free, and free ain't good. If for some reason you decide to use the free information on this program, you're utilizing it at your own discretion. More importantly, if you're betting any of these games, do it safe, do it responsibly, and most important, have fun. For Brock Page Productions, I'm Brock Page. And have yourself a positive day.